All right, hello and welcome back. Okay, so in this video, what we're gonna go ahead and do now is talk about, excuse me, how to sculpt the landscape. Okay, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is select the landscape, and then what we're gonna go ahead and do is click on the sculpt tab over here. Okay. All right, so next what we're going to go ahead and do is here I'm using the sculpt brush right here. Okay, so if I use the left mouse click and hold while going across the landscape, it's going to go ahead and sculpt this landscape, and it's lifting it up. If I want to go ahead and have this landscape go down, I can hold shift and click on the mouse and move the mouse around to have the area that's lit by the brush cursor. That's the area that's going to get affected, and that will go down. So here I'm going to go ahead and hold shift and the left mouse click and move the mouse around. Notice that area then goes down. Okay. All right, and here is the brush size. So right now it's using a brush size of 2048, and then this is first of all, here we'll talk about the brush size. So if I use the right bracket key, that's going to go ahead and make the brush size larger. If I click on the left bracket key, that's going to go ahead and make the brush size smaller. Okay. All right. And then this here is the tool strength, how much intensity that it has. Okay. All right. So once again, left mouse click will lift this area up, and if you hold shift and left mouse click, it's going to go ahead and push it down. Okay. All right. So it's like pushing and pulling. All right. So here I'm going to go ahead and go over the next tool, which is the smooth brush. Okay, so basically this here just smooths the affected area out. Okay, so it basically just averages the vertices and tries to make it smooth and flat as possible. Okay, so it smooths out the transition between the ups and downs. Okay. All right. Cool. So here you can quickly go over this if you want. Here you can smooth that all out. Okay, I can make the brush size be larger. Okay. All right. So here I smooth this all out. Okay. Cool. So here I'm rotating the viewport and just smoothing this out. Okay. All right. So once again, that's controlled. Here you have the brush size, left and right bracket. That's here. This is the fall off. That basically is the size of the second circle. Okay. Or actually, sorry. Excuse me. So that so it's a space between the first circle and the second circle. The fall off. Okay. All right. Cool. And then this here is the tool strength. So if you want it stronger, you can crank it up. If you want it less intense, you just make it a lower value. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and reset these. Okay. All right. So then here's the flatten brush. Okay. So here I'm just going over an area and it's flattening it. Okay. Alright, so it's making it this here perfectly flat. So I believe if I sculpt this up high and then come back over here to the flatten, so it's going to take the peak of that which it first goes over and have it be sculpted to there. Okay. All right. So based on wherever I actually, so it's wherever the cursor samples from, it's going to tell it to sculpt the rest of the geometry up into there. Okay, so if I sample from here and then come back over, it's then going to go ahead and flatten this. Okay. Cool. All right, so that's a flatten brush. Okay. All right, so here's the ramp brush. Okay, so here I'm gonna go ahead, click, hold, and drag. Okay, and so it's creating, so it's the area that's between here and here. So then here you can lift this up. Okay, and here you can pull this down if you want. And then what you do is you click add ramp. Okay, all right, so it creates the area between here and here. Okay, so here I'm going to play with this some more. I'm going to try to scale this. Okay, so I see here you control the ramp width here. Okay, so let's say I like that, so I'm going to go ahead and click add ramp. Okay, cool. So then that's what it does. Okay. So here, if you want, you can then smooth that out. So there's a lot of different sculpting tools that you can use to sculpt your landscape. Okay, here's erosion. Okay, so here is going to go ahead and create all these dips and valleys based on these here settings. Okay, and if you mouse over any one of these, here it's going to go ahead and say what it does. All right, so this one's simulating erosion caused by the movement of soil from higher areas to lower areas. Okay. All right. Cool. I'm just playing around with the different tools, so brush sizes. All right, so here let's go ahead and try hydro. Okay. All right, so this one here simulates erosion caused by rainfall. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So here you have all these different settings you can use to play with. Here's noise. Okay. All right. So here's you'll basically sculpt up and down. It's going to lift some areas up, push some areas down. Okay. All right. So then we have retop. You see, it automatically adjusts landscape vertices with an X/Y offset map to improve vertex density on cliffs, reducing texture stretching. Note, an X and Y offset map makes the landscape slower to render and paint on with other tools, so only use if needed. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bypass this one. Alright, so here we have visibility. Okay. So this one here masks out individual quads in the landscape, leaving a hole. Okay, painting restriction, none. Okay, no. Okay, so this here is going to be another one of those brushes that I'm going to go ahead and leave out. Okay, so then here's mirror. Okay, so here I can probably tell it to mirror from one axis to the other. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is here I'm just going to go ahead and try it out. I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. Alright, so it took the area that was sculpted from the right side and made it the same on the left side. I don't necessarily want that, but just showing what it does, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Z to undo. Okay, alright, so then here's select. Okay, basically what this does, okay, select the region of the landscape to use as a mask for other tools. Okay, alright. And then this button clears the mask. So if you want to paint a mask, let's see, and then here let's try a tool. Okay, so that stayed. Alright, so here we have select. Okay, so the masked area is an area that will not get affected. Okay, the area that is not masked will get affected. Okay, so here I'm affecting just the area that's outside of this mask. Okay. Alright. So next here we have copy. Okay. Alright. Cool. So here I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here, and we'll come back in the next video.